Something quiet happened in the spring of 2026. No announcement, no keynote, no headline. The global smartphone, the most dominant consumer tech category in history, officially entered a historic collapse. For the first time in over a decade, shipments didn't just slow, they fell off a cliff. According to IDC, global smartphone shipments are forecast to fall 13.9% in 2026. That is the steepest annual contraction ever recorded in the industry. 1.09 billion units, still a massive number. But the direction of travel is unmistakable. IDC's senior research director, Nabila Popal, described it plainly. The deepening memory shortage crisis remains the dominant force behind the record 14% drop. And it isn't only supply chain disruption. In Q1 2026, shipments fell 2.9% year over year to 293.8 million units, breaking a 10-quarter growth streak that had stretched across 3 years. The smartphone isn't having a bad quarter. It is having a structural reckoning. But the numbers only tell half the story. The more important signal is cultural, and it is coming from the generation that grew up on these devices. A 2025 Harris Poll survey of over 2,000 adults found something remarkable. 81% of Gen Z explicitly wish it were easier to disconnect from their digital devices. These are people averaging more than 7 hours of screen time a day. They are not rejecting technology. They are rejecting the form factor, the screen in the palm of the hand, the constant reaching, tapping, scrolling into a glowing rectangle. The most phone-native generation in history wants out of the phone. History has seen this exact transition before, not once, but 3 times in 20 years. In 2010, global digital camera shipments peaked at 121.5 million units. The iPhone 4 launched that same year. By 2022, fixed-lens compact camera shipments had collapsed to 2.1 million units, a 98% wipeout in just over a decade. The pattern repeated with GPS. Garmin was selling 16.9 million navigation devices annually at its peak in 2008. Within 3 years, free smartphone mapping apps had erased the market entirely. MP3 players followed the same arc. US wholesale sales fell from $2.93 billion in 2013 to $770 million. The mechanism is always identical. A new device doesn't kill the old one in a single blow. It quietly absorbs its functions, one by one, until the old device has no reason left to exist. The smartphone absorbed cameras, GPS units, and music players. Now something else is being built to absorb the smartphone. The company that fired the first shot wasn't Apple, it was Meta. In 2025 alone, Meta sold over 7 million pairs of its Ray-Ban smart glasses, more than tripling its sales volume from the previous year. According to Counterpoint Research, Meta consolidated 82% of the global smart glasses market in the second half of 2025. In September 2025, Meta went further, launching the Ray-Ban display at $799, a version with an AR overlay and a neural wristband for hands-free control. Mark Zuckerberg has not hidden where this is heading. At MetaConnect 2024, he predicted smart glasses would gradually replace smartphones as the primary computing platform by 2030. On the Joe Rogan podcast in January 2025, he described the smartphone's fundamental flaw. They take you away from the physical environment around you. You're kind of sucked into this little screen. Meta's message to the industry was unmistakable. The race had already started. The question was whether Apple was in it. On June 3, 2026, supply chain analyst Ming-Chi Kuo published a report that reshaped the picture. John Ternus, Apple's head of hardware engineering, had quietly overhauled the company's entire future roadmap. The Vision Pro line, Apple's multi-thousand-dollar spatial computing headset was effectively frozen. Vision Air, a lighter follow-up product, had been canceled in October 2025. The Mac-tethered display glasses concept was killed in January 2025. All of it cleared away. In its place, every available resource had been redirected toward a single product, codenamed N50, a lightweight pair of AI smart glasses. Mark Gurman at Bloomberg had already seen the internal pressure building. In April 2025, he reported that Tim Cook had become hell-bent on shipping AI glasses before Meta did. The sourced quote from inside Apple was exact. Tim cares about nothing else. It's the only thing he's really spending his time on from a product development standpoint. Based on Gurman and Kuo's reporting, the N50's design philosophy is deliberate restraint, no display at launch, an acetate frame, more durable and premium than standard plastic, weighing under 50 grams. 2 integrated cameras, one for photo and video, one dedicated to computer vision. Open-ear speakers. Directional microphones. A custom low-power chip, the N401, derived directly from the Apple Watch S series architecture. Processing offloaded to the iPhone already in the pocket. Reported price range, $299 to $499. This is Apple's classic playbook. The same Trojan horse strategy used with the original Apple Watch. Start with a companion device, build the habit, build the ecosystem. Then, in the next generation, add the display. The target launch window is end of 2027. Here is where the story takes its most extraordinary turn. A display-free glasses device needs one thing above everything else: an AI system that actually works without a screen. In November 2025, Gurman reported that Apple was planning to pay Google approximately $1 billion a year for access to a 1.2 trillion parameter Gemini AI model, roughly 8 times the scale of Apple's own cloud AI. On January 12, 2026, Apple and Google made it official. A joint statement confirmed a multi-year collaboration. The next generation of Apple Foundation models will be based on Google's Gemini models. Siri, for decades the weakest link in the Apple ecosystem, is being rebuilt from the ground up. Not with Apple's own technology, with Google's. The company that created the modern smartphone is paying its oldest rival to power the device designed to replace it. The N50 is not arriving tomorrow, and there is a cautionary tale worth examining before the hype takes over.